That shit's come a long way, man. I can imagine what our highlight tapes would look like with like 4K.
So
or just an iPhone.
At the end of the year, he'll probably have a highlight tape, and it'll be sick like that because I can like zoom in. I mean, it gives me like a thing, and I can zoom in and slow it down, and it's so badass on Huddle. It's fucking nice shit, man. But I was telling Joe, he's got 5 takeaways in 4 games.
Yeah, that's how you get promoted. Well, good for him, man.
Yeah, he's doing well. He didn't running the ball. He did, but yeah, defense. He's all over.
Yeah, it seems like that's where he belongs. That's cool. Yeah. That's good shit.
The buddy also got on this one. So one play they actually threw a penalty. It was on a punt, and he was coming. Actually, both these plays were on a punt. I think he's out of his element. He's coming down. Maybe it was punt return. Can't remember, but some dude like blindside just smokes him. And the coach they threw a penalty, and actually looking at it on there, I was just like, I mean, he kind of got you in the back, but it was more on the side. I would have thought, it's clean. He didn't hit you in the head, but he fucking decleated your ass. But the one I was really pissed about, he like had it was a punt. They were on punt team. He's coming down. He's got this guy who's already broken a couple tackles because Sam's the guy that guards the punter. So he comes down a little late. He's the one that calls the cadence. But anyway, he's got the guy hemmed up and he like breaks down and the guy cuts the outside and fucking stiff arms him in the fucking ground. I didn't even know who it was at first. I'm like, oh my God, that kid got planted. I was like, fuck.
And then you're
that
like,
poor bastard.
His fucking father must be ashamed.
Yeah. Oh, his dad must be embarrassed.
No, because we're all right there. The first, again, it was that first series, that pick 6. And then, they beat us 45-7. So that was our only fucking score.
Wow.
Crazy.
Usually don't get a pick 6 on the first series and then get shut out.
Well, I was telling Joe,
38 points.
Sam was telling me about that play. He goes, Dad, they run this play with 3 out there and they do this wide receiver screen. He goes, I can jump it. He goes, I missed it in practice and coach got on my ass because he went for the ball and the kid caught it and ran down in practice.
And then you're outnumbered, right.
He's like, make sure you make the fucking tackle. But he knew it was coming. He's like, he goes, man, I need to watch more film. He goes, I knew it.
Yeah.
So yeah,
that's exactly it. You can take those gambles when when you know tendencies and stuff. That's what you hear about all the pros and stuff when they talk. It's like a film study, like people like Ed Reed and shit. He watched as much film as Peyton Manning did.
Well, you see on the film when he watched it, the quarterback was a right-hander, so he hikes it and boom, turns and throws it. This guy was a lefty, so he had to kind of turn his body, so it was a little bit slower.
Yeah, sure. Makes sense.
But they brought down like 10 guys from varsity. We bring down none from varsity. Even like sophomores, there's only sophomores on JV. And some sophomores are on varsity, and we don't bring any of them back down to play, even though if they didn't play the night before. But the other team brought down like 12 fucking dudes. Their line just fucking murdered us.
That's kind of like what we did. Like when I was a junior, they asked me to play JV tailback. And I would go down there as a junior, and I ran for probably 1,300 yards in like 8 games. I mean, I was destroying people. I was doing what Nick was doing on varsity, pretty much.
Right.
But yeah, coaches, I would hear coaches bitching. They're like, "Fucking number 1 played the whole goddamn game last night," screaming.
Right.
I wasn't playing tailback though. But there was a couple games. There's a couple games where I had 2 touchdowns, like in the late third quarter, and then I showed up on the JV game. And the guy's like, "What the fuck?" What coaches are throwing their hats and stuff like, "Well, this is fucking bullshit. He scored 2 touchdowns last night in a goddamn varsity game." But I was like, well, that was because we pulled our starters because we were already up 50. I was TC Cathy in some of those games.
There you go, the walk on.
Anyways,
all right, boys, let's get into it.
Hey.
What is up? We are back. No, we are back. We are back, baby. Got
Be
you
back.
going live on YouTube Live. Everybody on the podcast also. I hope you're tuned in, locked in, subscribed, and all that good shit. Give us a 5-star review, please, and thank you. Subscribe, and you know where to find us. Just Google the Buckeye Cast. You can find us on all the platforms. We do have the subscription service launching soon. Within the next week, we are going to have our subscription service. We're going to have group texting. We're going to have call-in shows post-game, except at night when it's a 7:30 or 8 o'clock game. That'll be the next morning. So ironing out the details on these things, you're gonna get a discount on the supply store. You're gonna get a free shirt when you sign up. Amazing program we got going. So I'll keep you in mind. I'll let you know. We appreciate everybody that's supported the show thus far. There are links to buy us a shot or shots in the show description. So check it out on YouTube or podcast form. It helps support the show and keeps us semi-sober, less than sober. So check it out. Bourbon Talk. Let's jump right into that, and then we're gonna skip through this Toledo post game and get you ready for the Wisconsin Badgers. Okay, dear. Okay. Bourbon Talk. Jeff, let's hit you first. You got anything new on the glass front?
No bourbon tonight. I got some Basil Hayden dark rye.
That's
got back into that bottle tonight. Not the straight bourbon, but yeah, good stuff. I a little darker. I don't like dark beer. I don't like dark bread. I don't like most dark things.
Oh,
But this
easy.
rye is
We're
nice.
live. Easy.
Regarding liquor, I like it. This is it's nice and easy.
All right. I haven't tried the Basil rye. I'm not a big fan of their bourbons, so I probably won't buy that.
I like
Henry.
that.
What do you got?
I got to go with a cold Modelo tonight. My AC's out and it's hot, and I need a cold beverage. So, but I was in Chicago this week and went to a nice dinner at a nice restaurant, the Rosebud Steakhouse. Free plug. Go there. It was really nice. And I don't know what they were putting in the old fashioned, but a couple of those were pretty nice with amazing steak.
Oh, old fashioned cannot be beat, especially if they smoke it. Oh, that's a win. I assume a good steakhouse is going to do a smoky old fashioned.
Yeah. Don't go to your Frogger's or your Wing House and ask for an old fashioned. You know what I mean? If old fashioned is done right, proper way, like you're saying, Joe, if you get smoked, it's probably one of the top drinks out there. But know your place. If you're at your local fucking wing joint after a softball game, don't order the old fashioned because she's Googling it.
Yeah, and they definitely don't have the equipment.
Yes,
So,
that too.
Yeah. Get one
That's what
with
she
Buffalo or there you go. Get one with Buffalo or Eagle or a good, quality bourbon if you're going to do the old fashioned.
If she says we got makers, pass on the fucking old fashioned.
Yeah. Exactly.
Wait, what kind of bourbon you got? We got makers, Jack. Okay, we'll pass on the old fashioned. Give me a fucking Corona.
Yeah, exactly. So I got a little something different. I told you guys about this before. If you're watching on video, hopefully you can see this. Little Castle and Key. This is good quality shit, man. I love it. It's similar to a Buffalo, but kind of a little bit deeper in flavor, but I like it.
That's what she said.
This what?
That's what she said.
Yeah. You could say that with basically anything. So this weird liquor store across the street has it. but it's like 45. I like it. Just cracked it. Enjoying it.
They have it regular. They have it all the time, or
Yeah, they do.
nice.
But only like 2 bottles at a time.
I tell you what, Joe, I gotta get a day off. I gotta swing on over there, spend a couple hours and restock some bourbon. I can't find shit like that around here.
The wife just got me a bottle of Eagle today at a different liquor store down on Beach Drive or Gulf, whatever the fuck.
It's a good job out of wifey there.
Yeah, that's a
Yeah,
win.
but you texted that Colonel you were having that game. That was game liquor.
Oh, yesterday, Colonel Taylor.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I got to restock that shit too, man.
Yeah. You ever
Yeah.
find where you can get another bottle of that? Get to, I'll Venmo you the fucking money. Same day.
I can find it for less than 90.
I've never had it. The only time I had it, Joe, was at your house one time.
Oh,
You can find it for less than 90.
online, yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
What can you find Blanton's for?
150, 120 at best. That's the regular one. You got all those new versions, the black, the red, the green,
Yeah.
So yeah, you gotta do a lot of online shopping. Honestly, I got lucky and raided the Walgreens liquor store here near my house.
Rated it.
I did. I took fucking 10 buffaloes at $21.99 a bottle.
Fuck yeah.
The regular price is $28.99. They never get it in. And we've been stalking them for a couple of weeks because we just recently learned that they carry it. So my wife goes on her morning walk. She walked in there and like they were stocked, like they had 12 bottles. I'm like, all right, I'll be right there. I'll be driving. It's only like less than a mile away. I go,
be right there with my truck.
Yeah, fuck it. Every
pallet?
shopping bag.
Beep, back it up.
Right.
Yeah.
You got a pallet jack?
Yeah. I'm like, all right. So I'm set for Buffalo. I got like 15 bottles of Buffalo in my little kitchen warehouse. Anyway,
I love it.
people don't care about that.
Warehouse.
Let's talk about this Toledo game.
I tell you what, though, Joe, if they saw your kitchen warehouse, they would care about that. That's a cool little setup.
Yeah. Well, like I mentioned before, if things ever get a little thin around here, we're going to open a little speakeasy and packing store. So let's get into this Toledo game real quick. I don't want to spend too much time on it because I really want to get into the Wisconsin game now that we're in Big Ten conference play, which is important. And I also want to hit on some of the big games we watched over the weekend and last weekend too. Sean, we didn't get any of your input from last weekend's craziness in week 2. So I want to get some of that from you. So this Toledo game, 77-21, obviously. Let's start with you, Sean. Would you call this a complete game from the Buckeye team?
I would. Hats off to that Toledo quarterback. That dude flat out balls, for them to put 21, but felt mostly earned. Made me a little concerned on our back end, a couple long throws and our guys chasing dudes. So, but for the most part, yes, I would say it was pretty good, but the defense needs to get a little better. But again, I think that quarterback's probably one of the better quarterbacks we're going to see all year. But what worries me about it is there's another guy up north that runs around and has a cannon for an arm too that we're going to see late in the year. So that was the one thing that kind of stood out to me as a concern point and something that needs tightened up a bit.
Yeah, definitely. This is the first mobile quarterback we faced. And so coming up.
No, it's not. That's the first mobile quarterback that actually could have a strong arm. Buckner was a scrambling quarterback. That dude,
but he didn't do any scrambling.
Well, no, our defensive game was better. I mean, I think we played a better defensive game against Notre Dame. We battled them up. They were trying to run the ball anyways and be clocked. They weren't They weren't trying to.
But
spread us out and let
that
the
being
quarterback
said,
run.
that Buckner is not dynamic like this guy
No.
or JJ McCarthy.
He
Not
didn't
like
have the
that.
speed.
No. Yeah, you're right. Oh, yeah. I wasn't trying to say he was. I would take that dude. Feel that Toledo quarterback on Notre Dame's team. Now they got some problems. You know what I mean? They could exploit.
Yeah, what year is that kid? Because if he's got eligibility,
He's portal material.
Yeah,
he is.
I
He's gonna
have
get a
no
nice
idea.
job.
See,
I wanna
at
say- I
Michigan
wanna say
State
he's-
next year.
I want to say he's a senior though.
Dude, he played with Cam Martinez in high school.
Oh, really?
Yeah. He was our quarterback.
Isn't Cam a junior?
No, I don't think he's a junior. I think he's only a second year guy.
Cam's a sophomore or a redshirt freshman. I don't
He's
know.
a redshirt sophomore, I believe.
Yeah,
yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, 3 years. Okay, been in there 3 years already.
Mhm.
We saw a lot of Cam Saturday night.
Yeah, he was in the 2020 class of redshirt.
Okay.
So yeah, technically second year. All right. So Jeff, what do you think? Was this a complete game from the Buckeyes?
I mean, if I was grading it, I would not give him an A.
Is this a complete
the-
game? All three phases: offense, defense, special teams.
I compare it to did all three play at a championship level? I say no. The defense did not. The deep plays mostly early in the game. Some of the calls on defense, just scheme wise, where we got exploited. It didn't even take a next level, offensive mind to see, if when we blitz two people off to the very far edge stacked, that we're leaving, a 10-yard wide lane.
So quick answer, yes or no, this is not a complete game?
No, it was not a complete game. Sorry.
All right. So Buckeyes come out a little banged up out of this game. I would say, to use Ryan Day's words after the game in the press conference, they use an abundance of caution when keeping some of these guys out. But we did see Emeka was in a light, boot on his foot. Cam Brown, they pulled out relatively early. Travion got pulled out very early. He had 4 carries. Mike Hall didn't play, even though I don't think he was even on the availability chart. Same for Proctor and Tanner McAllister. These guys were supposed to be available, but did not even play.
Wow.
So again, this could be just over precautionary because we're getting geared up for Big Ten play, of course. So I'm going to lean that direction after not seeing these guys, or hearing about any injury issues after last week.
What was the word on Travion? Anything?
Yeah, it was minor though. It's nothing long term. I mean,
Ankle
he was on the
sprain.
sidelines. I don't know if it was an ankle or not.
He had a major collision before he came out of the game.
Right.
Up on the right side, and then he got the touchdown after. He got the touchdown afterwards, but
yeah,
I mean that was some serious contact.
Yeah, well, and that's kind of what I thought it was initially, as well. But just hearing this morning that it was more his ankle, more like an ankle sprain, and under circumstances probably could have played, but they pulled him early, and that's why they pulled Mayan early. Just because they already took Trey out, and they said, well, Mayan was completely fine, health wise, no issues. They just wanted to just get him out of there, just to preserve him. Right. Which is why we got to see a couple walk-ons run the ball.
There was a lot of walk-ons actually, but anyways, all right. So
I believe it was more. I believe a lot of that is precautionary. I think Ryan Day knows the kind of team he's dealing with, and doesn't want to fuck it up on a rush decision when we don't need it.
And JSN only played the first quarter.
Yeah, I was mad. He didn't get a touchdown. we're not mad, just disappointed, I guess, for him. He still hasn't touched the paint. So, but you got to expect him with the limited time he had. You got to expect him to be full goal next week, hopefully.
When it matters. Yeah. All right. So the offense, to me, the offense is right now on fucking fire. They had the ball for 35 minutes, 763 yards. By the way, 13 yards from a school record. 13. I'm sure Ryan Day wasn't aware or wasn't made aware.
They don't give a fuck.
I don't think he cares. I think,
right.
He wants
Obviously.
to orchestrate that game the way he wants to orchestrate that game, whether it gets to 13 yards or not. He probably really doesn't care. I'm sorry, Joe, but were you about to say the team that does own the record for yards?
I wasn't, but go ahead.
I believe it was the 2017. I think
really?
it was us. I think it was us against Miami, Ohio. I want to say.
I think wasn't it Bowling Green?
Well,
Not sure there.
All right. Probably should have done research. I did.
So
if I would have known your
should have.
up,
If you're going to interrupt,
I would have had the research ready.
One penalty, 5 yards. Buckeyes were 11 of 13 on third downs, 1 of 1 on fourth downs. 11 of 13 is nuts. They basically took last week's stats and flipped them on their head. Like, we were deficient in the time of possession. We had a terrible third down ratio. All these 3 and outs. We had no 3 and outs this week. 11 TDs on 12 possessions, 1 punt, and Jesse Mirko pinned him inside the fucking 2 on the 1 punt we had. They finished every drive that was in the red zone, rushed for 281. I think they actually have been listening to the Daily Blitz, because these are all the things that I was griping about all week long. Do you guys think that was the case?
I was very impressed with us correcting the penalty issue. The
You're just going to ignore
efficiency.
the Daily Blitz, huh?
Well, okay.
Go ahead.
Let's talk about your fucking Daily Blitz now.
Did.
Yes.
I already did.
The Daily Blitz. Get it here every day, folks.
Yeah.
Let's blitz it. Let's
go ahead, Sean. Go ahead, Sean.
No, yeah, we needed to. I want to run the ball. We're a power run team, and everything feeds off that. But seeing this Dallin Hayden, the future's bright. I feel good that I'm getting to see some of these guys. I tell you, the fucking run of the night though is the walk on Caffey. That was the 76 point was beautiful. Yeah. What a run.
Yeah, it was. So CJ goes 23 of 28, 367, 5 TDs. I want to point this out because this is something I've been tracking thus far this year, every week. When blitzed, CJ this past week was 11 of 15, 127, 3 touchdowns. Obviously, that tells you he's getting blitzed when they're in the red zone, but this is a key in looking at his growth as a quarterback and being successful. You can't just, chew up yards when it's a clean pocket and you're not feeling any pressure. When they're bringing extra dudes, you're making them fucking pay. That's huge. What do you think, Jeff?
Yeah. The offensive efficiency overall has been amazing. Yeah, I don't know. Well, I mean, let's say we're performing the way we up to our expectations. Go ahead, Sean.
The one thing with CJ Stroud, I mean, those numbers are just unworldly, but how many of those were, just ridiculous catches by people keeping their feet in. And my My one concern is Toledo's secondary that good that we're not getting that much separation on that stuff. But I mean, we made like 5 amazing toe dragging catches for touchdowns, for first downs, all over that field.
I would flip that over and say those are pinpoint passes where CJ knows only his receiver can get the ball. But yes, I get your point.
There's no doubt about it. But I mean,
separation I get.
Can you count on those guys making those plays? You had mine. Everybody was making those plays.
Yeah.
It just amazed me.
Even Kate Stover had one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Fleming had one. A toe tapper.
Harrison had 1 or 2.
He's had a few. Yeah. Mecca. Yeah. He tried to stay in bounds. I thought Harrison actually could have had 3 touchdowns. He stepped on the line inside the 5 there when he was running up the sideline. Jaden Ballard, he 4 catches, 4 targets. JSN had 2 catches on 3 targets. Fleming 3 catches, 3 targets, only 23 yards but 2 touchdowns. All he does is catch touchdowns apparently. Marv 6 of 6 targets, 6 catches, 102 and 2 touchdowns. Mecca 7 of 8. See, this is where I've talked about this for a couple of weeks now. Mecca has to be your starter in place of Fleming, right? Yeah. Fleming, I know, I hate to say that. I mean, we know the story of Wally Pipp and all that, but Fleming just is not available every week. You don't know up until game time, last minute, if he can play. And that's hurting the Buckeyes, in my opinion. And that's why Emeka is, in my opinion, more reliable. And at that position, you got to go with him as a starter. Fleming still can rotate in. Obviously, he did. But he only had 3 targets to Emeka's 8. So that tells you something, right? And Marv with the 6, Ballard with 4, Stover with 5, JSN, like I mentioned.
Well, I mean, that tells me that, they like Fleming, and Fleming's good at certain things, but Emeka's been running with these ones for a long time now, and Fleming just hadn't done that timing. So Emeka's going to be a more reliable. I'm certain that Stroud feels more comfortable, like he knows where Emeka is going to be. But right. I mean, the one catch, the one Fleming touchdown where he did that like double hitch and then got to the end zone, that was, he was definitely on the same page there. I thought, man, that's if you're a wide receiver and quarterback or on that, on that same page, that's tough to defend. I don't care who you are.
Yeah, Jeff, don't you think you've seen kind of a growth with Emeka and CJ since the Notre Dame game? Remember, there were 1 or 2 plays where Emeka was expected to like sit down in a zone, and he kept going through the zone, and CJ threw it behind him because he was expecting him to sit. You think we're past that now?
Yeah, that crossing route when they're down there near the red zone. That was an easy 6. Probably. Those guys, they came in together. They've done a ton of work together. Not in live game, but a ton of work together coming through the program. And now that they're getting just more game reps, I think every play they gain more and more. The offense as a whole does together. But yeah, I mean, Emeka clearly, I think our offense is at its highest, our highest peak with Marv and Jay and Emeka as the 3 with Stover and
Jason
and Trey.
Slot.
And Trey or Mayan at this point, because we're having a problem with availability. So either one of those 2, I have complete confidence in. Yeah. So I mean, Emeka, we know Fleming. He scored 2 touchdowns. He caught 2 touchdown passes. and did not play bad, did not make mistakes. But yeah, Emeka is, crunch time when we're 3rd and 8 against Michigan.
Right.
Emeka is going to be on the field.
Yeah.
If it's a 3 receiver set, Emeka is going to be the one. Of course, taking into account the health of both of them at that time, which at this, you got to think Fleming might just be one of those dudes that's going to be banged up week to week. Those guys that are
And his
the NFL
most
guys
recent
that are
injury
unable
was
to
not
get
even the
work.
shoulder. It was like a hammy, or it was a soft tissue lower body is the extent of the details we get.
I asked, when did you find that out? Because I listen to a lot of people that are, insiders in that program that are doing the leg work on the ground.
Nevada.
And
Nevada
no,
you got Nevada nuggets. You need to tell me.
I'm just saying, like, I did not, I thought it was still a shoulder. I did not know of because I understand why they guard against announcing the injury. We talked about this before, announcing the injuries and stuff. But if it would just help people, the fans, the media around the program understand more and not make assumptions if they had a little bit of clarity. Hey, it's at least the hockey style injury report. Lower body, upper body.
I think Fleming just earned himself more playing time and more trust by coming up huge.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, I want to see Fleming on the field, of course. Emeka is showing the production that you would ask of a 3rd receiver in an offense.
I want to go 4 receiver sets, man.
Yeah,
we're going to show a lot of that. We're going to show a lot of double tights. I mean, we're going to come at teams late in the season, Michigan and them. We might go 9 different formations in the first quarter because we have the talent at every spot. So
everybody watching on YouTube, don't be afraid to drop a question or a comment in the chat, and we will talk about it. I see you people out there. All right, let's run through the rest of this post game. I don't want to spend another half hour on it. Dallin Hayden, 100 yards and a touchdown. Good to see the freshman get in there. Kind of had to. They put Mayan in bubble wrap and put him away for the night. He had his 10 for 77, a couple of nice long ones. Trey with the touchdown, 4 for 19. Excuse me. No long-term issue there. The walk-on, TC Caffey, busting out of the scrum and going through arm tackles for the touchdown. 49-yarder. That was impressive.
That was so impressive.
Yeah. And people were saying, like people on the field, coaches were saying that he was not recruited by even a MAC school. Ouch. Maybe he will be now. Maybe a certain Toledo coach slipped his number into his pocket.
Yeah, right.
Defense, got to credit Toledo's quarterback, Finn. I only think of Sopranos, that skinny white dude in Sopranos. Meadows' boyfriend, Finn, that saw, we don't need to get into that, but Jeff knows what I'm talking about. Credit Finn, 150 yards passing, 2 TDs, 76 yards rushing, 1 TD rushing. So again, this guy definitely is portal material. We'll probably be seeing him in a Big Ten uniform soon, I would think. What do we have? Oh, defense. We had 2 turnovers. Finally cracked the seal on the turnovers. 2 sacks from the edge rushers also. Unfortunately, they were both by Javante Jean-Baptiste. Just one guy. Did have 12 missed tackles. I want to point that out because that's an issue. Anytime you get to double-digit missed tackles, that's bad. Fortunately, it's Toledo, and it's not going to hurt you too badly. Like I mentioned earlier, they held out Proctor, Tanner McAllister, and Mike Hall. Just over precautionary, in my opinion. They could have fucking played. Do you guys think this was a good test of facing a mobile quarterback? Because we do have, guys like Sean Clifford coming up, and then of course JJ McCarthy at the end of the year. Sean, you think this was a good test to gives Jim Knowles and the defense something to work on going forward?
Yeah, I think that kid's a high quality athlete, and he's going to be as good or better at that than any of them. Probably with a little less of an O line, I'm guessing, than those other guys. But he's probably a better athlete than any of them. I mean, that dude is fast. McCarthy's pretty quick too. But yeah, I think it was a good test on that end, and I think it showed some holes. So, something to look at if that starts to happen. It seems like running quarterbacks through the years have always been a big pain in our ass.
Yeah, you don't want to show your holes when you don't have to.
And it's usually the quarterback up the middle and then makes one guy miss, and it's like off to the races.
Yeah. Jeff, what do you think? Good to see this now in a kind of a layup game.
Well, he definitely showed how we can be exploited with a mobile quarterback. That's what I was bringing up earlier, and I texted you guys about this during the game. That wide edge blitzing, and you have your D tackle is inside the guard. You are giving up a huge lane. I mean, that's got to be corrected. And there's no linebackers, remember, because there's only two of them out there. They're gone. Like there's huge lanes. So Toledo was able to exploit some of our inefficiency or whatever. So hopefully it's a correctable tool. But we did not show that we could handle a scrambling quarterback, especially one with more arm talent like a JJ McCarthy. Mm-hmm. I mean, that last fucking touchdown dude threw up. That was a prayer. He just said, fuck it, and threw it up.
And Bert didn't make the tackle.
And of course, in our DBs, which was a problem all night, our DBs just played with horrible technique. So who's on the chopping block for technique by our DBs? Because I've seen it in all three games now. We have more talent than the guy we're battling against, but our technique is so fucking horrible that we get embarrassed for long blown out plays. Now, it didn't hurt us, of course, because Toledo couldn't stop us, and the game was already in hand. But it's a major issue. Major issue.
We got a comment from our YouTuber, one of our biggest fans, Cassie Gray.
She's back.
Appreciate you coming back. They say, I think mobile quarterbacks are a pain for any team, not just the Buckeyes alone.
Of course. Nick Saban had to change the way. Nick Saban changed his whole way of recruiting because Deshaun Watson dismantled him 2 years in a row. Mm-hmm. And he's like, fuck this. I need one of those guys. Let's switch it up. I needed a whole different defense to battle that kind of quarterback. And I need one of those quarterbacks of my own.
Yeah.
And he switched it up. I mean, yes. You got to be able to threaten people with that arm. You can run around. You can be, you can be the most, you can be Barry Sanders, Michael Vick with the ball in the backfield, but you got to be able to threaten defenses with that arm. And you find the Justin Fields and those kind of quarterbacks that can. Yeah, that's how they get drafted top 5 in pick or top 5 in the NFL, and they make millions of dollars. And I just saw Justin Fields just dive in the end zone on a sweet ass touchdown as I'm saying it. So yeah, they're a problem for anybody if you find those great ones. And luckily, Ohio State has we've been lucking out. I mean, I don't say it's all luck, but we've been choosing right on the quarterbacks we've been bringing into this program.
Yeah. So we got to really go fast through the rest of this game. We're just touching on the defense, trying not to go till 10 o'clock. JJB, 4 pressures, 2 sacks, 2 hurries, a forced fumble late that EA picked up. Tyleek, 3 pressures, 1 hit, 2 hurries. Ty Hamilton, 3 hurries. Caden Curry, kid is quickly making a case to be moving up in that rotation. I have him. He should be in the 2 deep behind Jack Sawyer personally. He had 2 hurries, 2 tackles. Again, 2 weeks in a row, he had multiple hurries and tackles. Jack Sawyer, 2 hurries. JTT, 2 hurries. Linebackers, Tommy Eichenberg led the backers with 4 tackles, sack, a hit, or no, just 1 hit and a hurry. Steel Chambers had a TFL. Cody Simon played well. Secondary, Ronnie Hickman gets the pick, finally breaks the cycle, gets the turnover, gets it going the other way. Cam Martinez, 6 tackles by the slot safety.
I saw him flying around a lot. That's why when it really hit me that McAllister was out of the game. I'm like, oh shit, that's 13, not 15.
Right.
Oh, Cam's out there. And then I saw McAllister just in his jersey, no pads. I was like, oh shit, he ain't even playing. Cam's been playing the whole time. Yeah, he looked good.
Yeah, he led the team in snaps, or one of the leaders anyway. Denzel Burke, 4 targets, 2 completions for 50 yards. Cam Brown, 3
2
targets.
for 50.
Yeah.
2 for 50.
Cam Brown, you might want to think about.
Yeah.
1 completion for 50 yards and a touchdown. J.K. Johnson played the bulk of the snaps in the secondary again. 2 targets, 0 completions. Also want to mention Kai Stokes getting in there late and Sonny Styles, both flashing up from their safety positions. Yeah,
they both flashed. Like, oh shit, who's that guy? I was telling wifey, I said, you see 20 there? To smoke that dude? I said, he's fucking 17. He's 6'4", 220. He's 17. He's supposed to be a senior in high school right now.
Yeah.
She's like, why how'd they let him in? I said, they reclassified. And then I said, I can't explain all that.
You got to sign a waiver, like parents have to sign a waiver. Paris Campbell was the same thing.
Yeah, but she didn't. I mean, a lot of people don't understand that. Oh, you can just do that? Well, yeah, you can. But you better be damn good to do it too.
You can get into college as a 17-year-old. I mean,
yeah,
if you really want to.
But for him, but he flashed. Look, when you see Sonny Styles play, like
it's a different speed.
It's effortless. Like it's almost like he makes the play effortlessly, and you think like, well, he's still only 17. Like he hasn't seen a whole lot of football.
Right.
But he flashes on the screen. I'm excited for him. He'll be starting next year, I believe. I mean, he'll have every opportunity to earn a starting spot.
Right. I don't want to get into my Court Williams tracker. I've been doing this every week, and I've just kind of become so irritated with it that I don't understand why he's not getting more snaps. If it's, I don't know, how's the guy a captain? How do you make him a captain? And he only plays like special teams and shit, and then garbage time. Because that's what's happened. He has not been injured, not that they've said, and he's played special teams since week 1. And last week he played like garbage snaps. Same this week. If he's injured, you're not going to play him on fucking special teams or garbage time. So which is it? And I'm tired of the media not fucking asking the assholes on the fucking Buckeye beat, not asking direct questions to Ryan Day and Jim Knowles, like, where the fuck is Court? Seems pretty simple. So I've been doing my tracker. I tweet that out every week, usually on Sundays, depending on how much time I have. I'll probably do it tomorrow. Exactly where he got his snaps. I'm sure it was less than 20. Mostly special teams. Anyways.
My guess, Joe, is he's not performing at the level the rest of them are.
I get that.
I mean,
right.
I think the coaches might because they love him so much, and they feel maybe they owe him to be easy about it. Maybe they don't want to say he's getting outplayed. I
realize that's probably
so. They're dancing around it, maybe. But yeah, it should be answered.
Nobody's asking. That's my fucking point.
Yes,
nobody's
I got you. Yeah, you're right. I would like to hear at least the question asked, and then interpret. Hear the response, and then interpret for myself. What's he really trying to say, or is he just saying?
Yeah, let me read between the lines, or take your information as face value. So anyways, we got to get into this Wisconsin game, man. It's fucking 10 till 9 already. 7:30 Saturday night on ABC. Whiskey, since 2004, they are 0-5 in Columbus, Ohio. Doesn't look good. Paul Chris comes in, his 8th year. They went 9-4 last year. I'm skipping through a lot of stuff that I really don't care about. They have averaged the 26th recruiting class over the last 5 years. But last year, the 2022 class is 45th nationally, 11th in the Big Ten. Bit of a dip.
Sounds like our defense the last couple of years. That's a recruiting class.
Yeah. They brought in a new OC, Bobby Ingram. You might remember him. He used to be a receiver at Penn State.
Yeah, good one.
Yeah. He spent 7 years with he spent 7 years with the Ravens at receivers and tight ends coach. He has been brought in to resurrect this Big Ten's worst passing game and kind of bring it up to close to modern times, maybe. I don't know. I'm not sure that's possible. We know the DC, Jim Leonard, been there. They're always favorites to win the West every year, but they've only won it once in the last 4 years. So right now their record's 2-1. They beat Illinois State week 1, 38-0. Lost at home, 38-7. Not even a close game to Washington State 2 weeks ago.
They got run out of the gym.
And it was a turnover issue. They had 400 yards of total offense to 250 on Washington State, but the 3 turnovers were costly. And then they came back last week and smashed New Mexico State, which not surprising, 6-6-7. Anyways,
New Mexico State's always a good bounce back option.
Yeah, you get healthy. We know the game plan against the Buckeyes. We've seen it play out, especially this year. It's try to limit OSU's possessions, control the ball, control the clock, bleed it down, keep them to like 9 or 10 possessions a game. Hope it's close in the fourth quarter. Notre Dame tried that shit, right? So their offense is bringing in 5 returning starters. Their strength of schedule of who they have played thus far is 104th in the country. So little clue, if the scores didn't pan that out for you, these guys like to run the ball 59% of the time. So 2/3 of their plays are running plays. Their passer rating when under pressure is an 80, not great. Third-year starting quarterback Graham Mertz. Last year he threw for almost 2,000 yards, 10 TDs, 11 picks. That's right, I said 10 TDs to 11 picks. You hear me, Buckeye secondary? Phil Steele has their running back room ranked as the 3rd best unit in the country. Braylon Allen went for almost 1,300 yards, 12 TDs last year. Cheese Malusi. I know it's Chiz. I just like saying cheese. Oh, yeah, cheese. 800 yards himself, 5 TDs. Braylon Allen was on the freshman All-American team. Finished 2nd in the Big Ten in rushing yards last year in only 9 games. That's 9 games, 1,200 yards. And he was 2nd in the country in yards after contact. Yeah, as you might like to call it.
Where do you think Phil Steele would rank their running back room now after 3 weeks?
Are you asking me to get in Phil's head?
No, I mean, okay. My question really is: do you think that Phil Steele would be ranking them still the number 1 running back room in the country after 3 weeks in the season?
I don't know.
My answer to that would be no.
They haven't played anybody first.
They haven't played anybody, and then they haven't been that impressive. That's. I guess that's the point. Yeah, they got 3 good running backs. We've heard all these names. Some of them used to be at different schools. Whatever.
Right.
It's fucking Wisconsin.
What do you mean? What is Wisconsin
More about their
trying
defense.
to play good defense and run the ball on us like
Yeah.
they do every fucking year?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they're going to switch it up this year.
Yeah.
They're gonna be one of the top 10 defenses in the country, then also run the ball 65% of the time.
Yeah.
So
good changeup.
They did lose their top 3 receivers. O-line lost what? What?
The top three of their receivers.
Yeah,
That's like, okay.
like you're going to notice.
Holy fuck.
He does have their O-line ranked 4th in the country. They have 57 returning total starts.
Of course, always.
They
always
lost their left guard and right tackle, and their O-line coach went to Va Tech. So they have 3 returning starters. Defense side, let's get into that. They're always in the top 10. They have a 30% third down conversion rate they allow. That's pretty impressive. Jim Leonard, likes to bring crazy pressure in different ways, keeps people off balance. 3 returning starters, though. They lost 8 of their top 10 tacklers from last year. Sounds like a problem. Buckeyes, they have basically a 50-50 run to pass ratio, 49.3 run to 50.7% run. Pass, I'm sorry. So 49.3 to 50.7% run to pass, almost exactly perfect, a half and half. The D line is 29th ranked by Phil Steele. LBs, they got a badass. They're ranked 6th. Nick Herbig, he's 6'2", 227, outside linebacker / edge rusher. He was a top 150 recruit in the 2020 class. Sorry. He had a 91.4 pass rush grade and a 26% win rate. And that's like top 5 in the Power 5.
So he's your TJ Watt. He's your fucking Vince Beagle. He's your
exactly.
Where the fuck else they've had.
Right.
Yeah, they always have that guy.
Yeah. So their corners though are trash. These are all like transfers that have come in. They have 3 transfers came in. They're battling for 2 spots, and they have a former walk-on that is a really good safety, John Torchio, at strong safety. He's good against the pass and the run. So that's my breakdown. Score predictions. Buckeyes right now, as it stands, are favored by 17.5. Not a great number if you like key numbers, but over under is 55.5. Let's start it with you, Jeff. What do you got?
Over under 55. I don't like that 17.5 number, so I'm looking more at that over under 55.5. So let me get a score that's going to put us on the over. Because I don't think Wisconsin's, they're going to be good on defense. So what? They're not going to be able to score. We're going to be able to score. They're not going to be able to score with us. Let me go. Let's see, what does 38-17 give me? That gives me 55, right?
Mm-hmm.
38-19. Buckeye.
Jeez. Trying to hit it right on the number, aren't you? Okay. So you think we only get 38 on offense, huh?
I think they're going to achieve a little bit of their fucking eat the clock bullshit and get limit our possessions. I think we're going to be able to score when we need to score. Some field goals might be involved, just because they might bear down in the red zone there. But yeah, I think with limited options or limited availability, our offense will get 38.
Okay.
But I'm also taking a turnover. We're going to be +1 in the turnover ratio.
All right. Oh, before we get to you, Sean, Cassie Gray comes in with 42-17. I like it.
She's with me. I'm with you, Cassie. I'm with you here on this wavelength. We're right there. Either way, I mean, play here, play there. Let's get the scores right about that, right around that area.
Mm-hmm. Sean, what do you got?
I'm close to you, but I got the over, and the Buckeyes don't cover.
Ooh.
They do cover.
38-24.
Oh, you said they don't cover. Okay.
Expecting an offensive output from the Badgers.
Them fuckers do play us tough. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if it's, one score either way, fourth quarter. It comes down to it.
I think we'll find out right away if they're able to establish any type of run game. Then
that's it. You're right, Sean. That's it. Because Mertz isn't going to be hurting us with his feet like Toledo's quarterback. He's not. I guarantee we're going to see some goddamn jet sweeps. Those hurt us in the past. I just remember years seeing jet sweeps coming. Fuck, 15 yards. But yeah, they're going to have to establish a run game. You're right. That's the only way they got a chance.
Yeah. I'm going 45-20. I'm almost right on top of Cassie Gray there. I think you know what I mean.
Hey now.
Hey now.
Keep it clean. This is an adult show.
No.
I think their defense obviously is going to keep us from getting into the 70s. That's for sure. But yeah, 20 is good. Microscopes, Jeff. Who do you have on offense and defense?
Defense, Cam fucking Brown. Hey, man, play the technique you've been taught. You have some of the best coaches in the country. They're not teaching you to do the bullshit you're doing out there in the field. I guarantee it. Okay. Play like an All-American. Offense? You want to be a pro? Offense? Hey, Trey Henderson, finish a ball game.
That's it? Just finish a ball game?
Finish the ball game.
All right.
Get through four quarters to run the ball against a good this one of the best defenses we're going to see.
They're going to hit.
The game. If Trey finishes the game, we're in great shape.
Okay.
And I don't not even worried about his output, but get him through a game.
Sean, you got TC Caffey on offense?
Yeah. Yeah. Oh man. Well, hey, we'd be getting deep.
Caffey carries plus 2.5.
It's a good day.
On offense, I'm going with JSN. Let me see. We ain't seen much from him yet this season.
He needs a loud.
What Wisconsin's been watching on this tape. First couple, they're watching the Notre Dame tape really close, right? Because they think their defense is, talent-wise, they're on par with Notre Dame, and they're like, we got them. We can run this coverage. We can cover shit. We can cloud here. We can rush here, and they're like, oh fuck, and they're gonna get in the game, and JSN. Oh, I forgot that guy's playing too. Now we're fucked because we only accounted for 2 of them.
Okay.
So yeah, JSN.
Sean, who do you have on defense?
Defense, I'm gonna go take a reach here and go with my boy Sonny Styles. I want to see if that guy earns some playing time.
He won't see the field, Sean. I bet he doesn't see the field.
I don't know. I think there's an opportunity here. I think if Wisconsin does establish that run, I think Sonny Styles might be put in there to be a run stopper.
Wow.
Ooh. Hey, over under total plays for Sonny Styles, Sean? 5.5.
Oh no, that's fine.
What do you take?
That's fine as well. I want those 5 to be good.
Okay. I'm going Mayan on offense. I think obviously this is a Trey and Mayan show. I need a power back if Trey is going to be your lightning to the thunder. I need Mayan to be my thunder. And then on defense, obviously going against 60% running plays every down or every series, Tommy Eichenberg has to fill those run fits. So
Tommy's going to have a big game. No doubt.
Yeah, we're talking double-digit tackles.
Yeah.
Sure, Joe. But the only way he gets to double-digit tackles, remember, is if those front 4 are doing their job. If Michael Hall is healthy and at his level, and you got Ty Hamilton, who showed out. Ty Hamilton was another one that showed out. Those interior guys, Tyleek, in the rotation, Cage, Teron, all of them. If they're doing their job, Eichenberg can have 15 tackles. And in a game like this is the game he would get his 15, 20 tackles.
Yeah.
If the front 4 are doing their job. So, this is like last week was a game for the receivers. Like, oh shit, we can get our money in this game. This is the game that Eichenberg got to be looking at. Like, if you fuckers up front can get these guys off me, I'll tackle that fucking running back every play. Keep them dudes off. So, yeah, that front four's got to do their job. They have to do the job to let our linebackers run and hit.
Yep. All right.
That's simple. As simple as that. It's a simple game when you break it down.
So I'm going to run through some week 3 final scores. First off, though, you know me, I'm a huge Big Ten East honk. If the Big Ten East wins a game, you're going to hear it from me. You know that.
We always do.
When Maryland beats Citadel, you're going to fucking hear it from me. When Rutgers beats Sisters of the Poor, I'm going to fucking tweet it out. I'm going to yell it from the rooftops.
They beat BC.
Really.
I was running through the streets.
Not really. Yeah. Big Ten East, 20-1. Guess who's dragging us down with the 1? Fucking Sparty. Sparty takes one from the revenge of Michael Penix going out to Washington. Yeah, Michael Penix Jr. from Indiana, former quarterback, beat the piss out of Michigan State.
Dude looked like Steve Young dropping dimes on Michigan State.
He was
that was not a game. That was not a game.
No,
the final score.
Demolishing from start to finish.
Right. The final score does not indicate how that game went. 39-28. No.
I saw Pettis. Pettis was just dropping back. He's just slinging it. I'm like, oh shit. Oh, he's got him. 6.
He's got good receivers
all fucking day long. Jesus Christ. And Washington's not ranked. Like I looked at 2 of the receivers. I'm like, oh, both of those guys look like pros.
Yeah.
I was watching.
I never heard of the guy. Never did.
I was watching that game with some Sparty friends, and yeah, he's like he carved us up when he was at Indiana. I'm like, he carved us up one year.
Yeah. When he's healthy, the guy can drop dimes. It's just
he's got a cannon for an arm, man.
Yeah,
and he was throwing lasers. I mean, yeah.
But Joe, do you see that line though? That line going up to that game was 6.5 for Washington, unranked against 11th ranked Sparty. That line fucking stunk, man. It's like caution.
Sparty was favored.
No,
Sparty was favored.
No, Washington was favored by 6.
Hold on. Quickly, I got a reply from Cassie Gray in the chat on YouTube.
Let's get on top of that.
They got JSN and Michael Hall on the microscopes. So
nice.
Yeah,
right in line with us.
Two guys coming off injury. I feel it.
Yep. So I got the spread right here from last week's Michigan State game because we actually talked about it. Michigan State. Oh, I'm sorry. Washington was -2. -2.
-2. That game was at 6
home.
at one point. But yeah, all right, it moved to 2.
Anyway, it doesn't matter. Let's get through these. I'm going to name off some others, and we'll circle back if there's anything you really want to talk about. UConn at Michigan, 59-0. Didn't touch that one. Penn State goes down south.
Wait. You got that strength of schedule shit. What is Michigan's so far strength of schedule? What's that number?
131. I'm guessing.
I have
got to be up there.
Well, I got this fucker tweeted out, so I'll have to look that up. Let me get back to you on that. Somebody has -29, 131 out of 131. Yeah. I'm not sure that's accurate, but it very well could be because they haven't played anybody. They played like the 3 worst teams in college football, so it could be the worst.
I'm guessing it's got to be right up there.
Yeah. I'll hunt for that while we're talking. Let's get through. Penn State goes below the Mason-Dixon line, beats the fuck out of Auburn with everything you could possibly think of. Sean Clifford looked like Joe Montana back there. That Tinsley receiver for Penn State, he could be a problem for us. Obviously, Parker Washington's good. Nick Singleton and that O-line moved the ball easily against Auburn. SEC teams, you expect to have good D-line and O-line, right? Nope.
Yeah,
Not this
Auburn's always had dominant interior D linemen.
Right.
They do not
today.
anymore.
Not this time.
Auburn's a middle of the pack SEC team. No lie.
Oh, they're garbage. I would say they're lower level at this point.
You think they're below? Okay. Okay. So yeah, mid, middle of the pack to lower.
Yeah.
So it's still impressive to go down there and win the game the way they did. I'm very impressed by Penn State, but I'm not surprised because I didn't think much of Auburn. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like I didn't think Auburn was going to be much of a test physically, just because they don't they're that whole fucking program's in turmoil. They've been half the boosters want that coach out. They've been wanting him out. They're trying to dig up dirt on him. The other half are in a fight to keep him. It's a fucking mess. But still impressive to go down to that area in that environment and dominate. So it always looks good for the Big Ten. So happy to see it. Yeah, I think the running back's real. He's a stud. So
and that Keon Lee, their other two running backs actually are really good. They just don't get as many snaps as Singleton. Georgia, South Carolina, Georgia smashes the Cox 48-7. Oklahoma smashes Nebraska as expected, 49-14. Miami in a dogfight with Texas A&M goes.
Did you watch the end of that game? You see it?
No, I'm not watching that garbage. It was a terrible game.
I caught it.
17-9. So nothing really there to talk about, right? I mean, we talked about the one important game.
I can tell you this though, real quick. So A&M's not for real. I don't know why. Well, the hype every year though. A&M's for real. They're not for real. Miami's not back
because they're fucking big ass recruiting class.
So I mean, I watched the end of the game. They both monkey fucked it around. Jimbo has no offense. He's just fucking. Quarterback.
We kind of saw that last week. Okay, Sean, I got your numbers for you. Michigan's strength of schedule to this point is I have 109 according to PFF, and Maryland, for comparison's sake, coming up this week, 113th.
Oh, geez.
So
they're both about to get in a real football game.
Yeah, it'd probably be a 5-3 ball game. Like while we're talking about that, I got 17.5. Yeah, Michigan favored by 17.5, over under 59.5 at the Big House. The crab cakes and football coming into town.
No, I
got Maryland in the over on that.
Oh, I like that. I'm with you there. I'm probably gonna put some money on that.
17.
Talia, throw it around. Yeah. Two of the best. I give Maryland 2 of the top 5 receivers in the Big Ten with Demus and Rakim Jarrett.
I agree.
Jeff?
I'm surprised the over-under is that low, given Michigan 17.5.
Yeah.
All right, so if you look at 20, so you're looking at like a 40-20 ball game, 40-17 ball game. Maryland can scare people with that offense, with slinging the ball like you guys are talking. I would say the second best receiver group in the Big Ten to us. Sorry, Desmond. But I think I would take the over. I'll take the over, and I'll take Maryland to cover.
Yeah, I agree. Minnesota going to Michigan State. Sparty, though, favored by 2, over under 52. Ghosts have been smashing some people.
Who the fuck? You're going to less than a field goal. So Sparty, you said Sparty's at home?
Yeah.
So you get 3 points for home, typically. So it's the spread's 2. So it's a pick'em game.
Yep.
Yeah, give me Sparty at home, I guess.
Give me Minnesota and the over. I watched most of that game.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Sparty's in trouble.
Yep.
Minnesota's their stats are crazy.
They're moving shit.
yards per game and defense. They're fucking lights out. So
We called them up real nice.
That's exactly.
for a green card.
But while we're talking about strength of schedule, Minnesota is 129th, Sparty's is 96th.
Jesus Christ.
So
we don't know. We don't know.
Nobody's really played anybody,
We don't know.
Florida at Tennessee. Tennessee's favored by 9.5. Arkansas at Texas A&M. A&M is favored by 2.5.
Give me Arkansas to win, outright win. Give me Florida to cover.
Okay. Sean, you got a take on those two?
Those are good games. Those are games.
I don't know. Arkansas was in trouble this last weekend. And I don't know. I think Tennessee's got some mojo going on. I think I like Tennessee and A&M.
That's a 9.5 point spread though for Tennessee.
Yeah. Tennessee's going to cover 9.5 against Florida.
You're going to watch it.
Let's do it. Sean, let me. I'll
Florida
text you
sucks.
after the. I'll
Florida
text you
is
after the
not
pod.
good.
We'll get a little side bet going.
There you go. All right. Arkansas, I think this could be another
Hogs.
another punch in the mouth to Jimbo and his big mouth. Those guys like to run the ball. They like to play tough, smash mouth football. A&M doesn't even know who the fuck their best quarterback is. And
that was a tough game to watch. A&M and Miami, because I fucking hate both of them, but I hate Jimbo more because I used to love the U back when they were the U. I fucking hate Jimbo, so it was nice. I was hoping he would fall. I'm really gonna look forward to Arkansas putting it on A&M for all the reasons you just said.
Yeah,
they have no offense.
All right. Well, that should do it for this week. I'm sure we'll have some more craziness happening this week. And now the conference play is really kicking up a notch. I think that Michigan State Minnesota game could be one of those kind of turning of seasons. Sparty maybe goes downhill, or Minnesota, kind of goes back to the mean. And
Minnesota right now, I got Minnesota as my favorite in the West.
Yeah.
Everyone looks like trash. Nebraska's trash. Iowa's trash. Yeah. Wisconsin. We'll find out about Wisconsin next week.
Right.
Hey, you talk about Wisconsin's poor passing offense, and then you look right over their shoulder, and there's fucking Iowa staring at you. You're like, oh yeah, never mind. You're not the worst.
No, I can't compare that. So.
Yeah, I would say right now, Purdue can scare some people in the West too. But yeah, I think Minnesota's putting up stats like they're ready for all comers.
I'm with you on the Purdue. I think Purdue will.
I watched that game, dude. You guys are fucking high. They are really garbage. Syracuse shut down Aiden O'Connell. They don't have David Bell. They don't have that Syracuse. They don't have Rondale Moore. Syracuse shut them the fuck down. And Purdue had multiple points. They could have won that. A kicker missed a fucking field goal late to tie it. Multiple PI penalties. There was a combined 20 penalties between the two teams in that game. But the bulk of them were PIs. And
I'm glad I was working.
It was disgusting. I had a hard time watching it. I went for a long walk and came back, and suddenly everybody had scored 40 points. So I'm sure it was all on PIs. So no, Purdue is not the same team they were last year or the year before. When they last were able to throw, Aiden O'Connell got shut the fuck down.
Well,
right. JJ McCarthy.
Good show, boys. What? Go ahead, hurry.
Is JJ McCarthy the second best quarterback in the Big Ten?
No.
Yes.
Sean Clifford.
Oh, whoa. All right. I ended on that.
Did you watch the Auburn game? Dial up the condensed version. They got worked. Auburn's defense got worked by Sean Clifford. Not many teams can say that.
Yeah, but you said they were running the ball.
They did, but also Sean Clifford had a good game, and those receivers. No joke. I'm not kidding.
I think you're giving him more credit than he deserves for the defense he was facing, because it's not all the Auburn that we may have known the last 8 years.
All right, but it's an SEC team. I mean, I know that, they love to pump their tires all the time, but Penn State moved the ball at will on that defense. And unless Auburn is now a Vanderbilt, which I don't think they are.
No, they don't. No, they're not getting the academics that Vanderbilt's falling. So they're never going to be close to that. You're right. Auburn's got talent still, but yeah, Clifford, he looked great. But I think JJ McCarthy, by the end of the year, by the time we play JJ McCarthy, I think we're going to have a legitimate time on our hands as far as Michigan being a legit competitor.
He might be in that Heisman conversation by then.
He could be. Stroud. It could be him and Stroud, Heisman hopefuls, number 3 versus 4, 2 versus 3, both undefeated. I mean, it could be building to a monumental game, just like we've had a couple of them in the last decade. But this one could be tops, because you're right, Sean. I think JJ McCarthy is a legit quarterback and a weapon as a quarterback. And we haven't seen Michigan really play anybody, but I don't think their defense is that great. I don't think the defense is championship level, but
we'll find out. They got Maryland this week. We're going to find out a lot more.
Sean Clifford, I thought a week ago, I thought Sean Clifford might end up getting replaced this year by Drew Allar, the freshman.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're right. He had a great game. But Drew Allar came in the game and he looked fucking great too.
Well, he had 2 passes, so
I think one last thing. I think Washington State. I think Washington
really
State
crisp, though.
Beating up on Wisconsin and Washington beating up on Michigan State. I think those teams were auditioning for the Big Ten. Hey, we want to get into, and we played smash mouth and beat up 2 of your pretty decent teams.
That's a good point.
Hey, if you take my big brother, can you take me to Washington State?
Yeah. Yeah, they play, style of play isn't exactly Big Ten style, but I think that's changing anyway. So, yeah, they definitely could work into the conference for sure. So,
Washington, that might have been the most impressive victory of the weekend, though. At Washington, manhandling Michigan State like that.
I don't know.
I
think Sparty's going to get worked over here when they start facing some teams that can throw the ball in the Big Ten.
Yeah, as soon as I started watching, I'm like, oh, okay, they didn't fix the defensive backfield. And I didn't think they were the 11th best team in the country either. But
they lost their best guy back there, that safety Xavier Henderson. I think they lost him for the year. Yeah, they're thin back there.
I didn't know that.
Well, they got a bunch of transfers. It's like this guy's from there, this guy's from there. These guys just met each other 4 months ago. They don't know how each other plays, playing off each other. There's not that brotherhood that you hear in whatever that's worth. These guys aren't pros yet. But
right. All right. Well, good show, guys. Appreciate everybody tuning in on YouTube Live, and those of you listening on the podcast, we always appreciate you. You're welcome to buy us a shot. Links are in the show description, and we appreciate you. Just thank you so much. We will be rolling out the subscription service next week, so keep it locked in here, and we'll talk to you tomorrow. We will talk to you next week as a group. I will talk to you tomorrow on the Daily Blitz. So, Jeff and Sean, appreciate you. Thank you.
Peace.
Welcome.
Talk to you later. Go Bucks.